Hello guys and welcome. So in this video I'm going to be answering the question, what is Command and Conquer? This video is aimed at people who know nothing about Command and Conquer and have always been curious. Hopefully it will serve as a good starter guide for you. And as per always with the What Is series, I'm going to link as many useful resources in the description box below, including to the official website, to the Wikipedia page, to this trailer and so on. But before we continue, a quick message from past Mithrie. Thank you for watching the video so far. Remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring the bell to help with the YouTube algorithm. Now, back to the video. So, the reason I'm making this video now, even though Command & Conquer came out decades ago, is because they've just announced a remaster, as the last couple of months, for the original Red Alert game, and also for the Tiberian War games, coming out on the 5th of June 2020. And I thought I would revisit this game and take a look at it again. And I wanted to help explain as well why I loved the franchise in the 90s when it first came out. So, Command & Conquer is a real-time strategy game, RTS, franchise developed by Westwood Studios. The first game was one of the earliest of the RTS genre, itself based on Westwood Studios' influential strategy game Dune 2, and introducing trademarks followed in the rest of the series. This includes full motion video cutscenes with a notable ensemble of cast to progress the story, as opposed to digital in-game rendered cutscenes. So as in, they had real actors to do the cutscenes rather than render it. In 1998, Westwood Studios was taken over by EA, and then it was shut down in 2003. But then a lot of the studio staff was absorbed into EA Los Angeles at that time as well. So if you read the Wikipedia page, you can see a lot of history about Westwood Studios, the games they developed, and so on. But coming back to the Command & Conquer games, the Command & Conquer are real-time strategy games with the exception of the first-person shooter Command & Conquer Renegade. A staple of the series is the parallel campaigns of various different factions to one central storyline. Games in the series also offered multiplayer game options via LAN and modem connection, because back then we only had 56k or dial-up internet. All games in the series have also offered online play, as well as skirmish matches in which players can face AI enemies. All Command & Conquer real-time strategy games, except for Command & Conquer Generals and its expansions, have featured the sidebar for navigation and control, opposed to many other similar games where the control bar is located at the bottom of the screen. So what they also have explained for the remasters is that they remastered all the textures so that the game itself actually runs at 4K. So it's not actually difficult to do that with simple, let's say, 2D graphics, but they've also upscaled all of the assets of the game as well. But for those who really want to experience the original game, you will be able to switch between the original graphics. They're not really original, but looks like the original graphics, or the new graphics with a button press. Also, as well, they've had the original producer to remaster the soundtrack as well. So it's the same guy behind it, and he's doing it. So I personally am a member of Origin Premier, so I've already redeemed this game, and on 5th of June 2020 I will probably be playing it because I absolutely loved this game. What made Red Alert stand out for me was how interesting the story was. So the idea is that they invented a time machine, and Albert Einstein went back in history and wiped out a certain individual that I can't name for demonetization reasons. And then you have a different timeline as a result, and it still ends up being the Allies versus, they've just called them the Reds. So, and you have different campaigns where you can either play the Allies all the way through to try and save the world, or you can play Reds and try and dominate the world. And each of the factions has got their own unique super weapon. So the Allies have got the Chronosphere, which allows you to basically teleport one unit from one end of the map to anywhere else on the map that you can see at will, and it has obviously a good cooldown timer. But then the Reds have got a super weapon called the Iron Curtain, which basically will make a weapon, a tank or whatever, it'll make it invulnerable for a certain amount of time, which can also be very useful. And the good strategy for this game is basically just to manufacture lots of units. Make sure you build up your defenses as well. Especially in the later levels, you will need defenses not just against ground troops, but also against air troops. And keep pumping out a big force and then try and take over the map. I mean, at least that's the strategy I would go for. But with some of the later level designs, they were more clever, that they would purposely send waves of enemies at you while you're still in the way of building, so that you actually do spend time to build up your defenses. Because simply, if you try to just build lots and lots of units and then don't think about your actual defense, then and your construction yard goes down, which is the main building that builds all the other ones, then game over, basically. And also as well, you can send in engineers and you can take over other people's structures. Eventually you can take over their entire base, which is something I used to love doing as well. So I had a lot of fun when I was a kid. I was barely not even a teenager when I was playing these games, but I absolutely loved them. They were so good. The soundtrack was amazing, and it really taught me a lot about how to, let's say, how to strategize, how to command and conquer, as cheesy as that sounds. So let me know in those comments down below. Did you play Command and Conquer? What did you think of it? At the time, like 25 years ago, I played the original Command and Conquer. I played Red Alert and the expansions. And then I got to Tiberian Sun, and then my interest kind of waved. And since then, from what I've researched, I've always loved this series. I always thought it was great. But since then, I have seen a lot of, let's say, bad press of the newer Command and Conquer games. They just didn't capture the magic of the original games. They just didn't. So I'm happy that these originals are coming back in a remastered form. And like I said, I will definitely be checking them out. So what we're now going to do, guys, we're going to quickly visit the website mentioned, commandandconquer.com, and we're going to see what's written on there. Okay, so this is the website. And as you can see, there's a timer. As I'm recording this video, still 15 days to go until the remaster comes out. But preloading on Premiere starts on the 1st of June. And then you have the trailer that's been looping in the background. So it says, remastered features. Let me just zoom in so you can actually read this. Okay, here we go. So, developed alongside the CNC community, the Command & Conquer Remastered Collection delivers 4K graphics, rebuilt multiplayer, enhanced UI, and completely remastered legendary soundtrack by Frank Kaplacki and more. So, one thing that's really cool that they've added in, you can see the modern textures, and you can see the old ones, and you can slide to do a comparison between the two. So, and it said it's completely down to you. Do you want to play with the original graphics or the original assets, or do you want to play with the new stuff? So, or you could just do them both. Just try them at your own will. And they've done a second teaser as well, which is basically, it's the same concept. That you can see the new assets versus the old. Now, there is a strong community behind this game who rewind the clock 25 years, who are still dedicated to the original Command & Conquer series. Like, they believe truly, and I completely understand the point of view, that the original Command & Conquer games were absolutely incredible, because I really do think that they were. And it's a shame that magic was kind of lost in the later games, but that's life. That just happens. But you can check out all these links, check out the website, and so on. If you have any nostalgia towards this game, then just know, 5th of June, you'll be able to replay the remastered collection on Steam, on Origin, and so on. And also as well, it's not that expensive from what I've seen, but do check that you might already actually have this game in your subscription. So if you're subscribed, for example, to Origin Premiere, then you will get the game, you'll already be able to redeem the game and get it onto your collection. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. You can watch a random video over there. You can watch the latest upload down there. Or you can click down here to subscribe. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.